How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at AVP, Alien vs. Predator, Thicker Than Blood. So, this is a graphic novel about the Alien and Predator franchise. Another good one of the stories where you get to see the characters fight. It's pretty fun, and I really do like this cover. You get the big alien standing over the little android boy, and you don't actually see the Predator on this cover, but you do see his targeting system, and he's trying to figure out which one to shoot. But I do love this big silhouette against this blank background here. Blank background, pretty cool. And then you flip it to the back, and you get the alien hanging upside down with a predator skull, and he's doing the alien little curve there, the circle holding the predator head, not a skull, but it's still got its mask on there. Anyway, moving right along, now we're going to take a look at this book, and in a minute I'm going to talk a little bit about the plot. I won't do any major spoilers, but I do want to say my piece on a few plot points and make sure you guys have an idea as to what this book's about. And I think a lot of the story setup is in issue 1, so I'm thinking primarily just going to show you guys a little bit of issue 1, but not going to spoil the ending there. But anyway, let's open up. There's the AVP logo, Alien vs. Predator, and it's again the targeting design. And we open it to the next page, and that's where you get this really fun title page. There's one of the covers there, Predator with a fire coming out of it, and here we have the credits. Thicker Than Blood, script by Jeremy Barlow, art by Doug Wheatley, coloring by Rain Beredo, and lettering by Michael Helsier, and cover and back cover art by Chun Lo. Sorry if I mispronounced any of those names. And flipping it to the next page, you get the extended credits here, and a pretty cool other cover image of this Predator holding an alien head and spine with these spears, and he's holding it up, and he's got blood everywhere, and he's got the whip, and the whip is all glowing, and it's a pretty nice cover that's really cool. But if we flip it to the extended credits, I did notice something actually really interesting here. A little bit of a story right there. This volume collects the Dark Horse comic book series Alien vs. Predator, Thicker Than Blood, number 1 to 2, originally published December 2019 to January 2020, and the previously unpublished issues 3 and 4. Now, that's really a weird thing to see, a comic story that half of it was previously unpublished, so you're getting stuff that you couldn't get in single issues. But then you look at this date here, January 2020, and I think we can figure out why these other 2 issues were previously unpublished. It didn't get its single issues out because of the pandemic, and I mean, issue 2 is not a resolved point. It ended on a cliffhanger, and you had to wait till they put out the trade paperback to get your last 2 issues. So kind of sucks right there, but I mean, what are you going to do about it? So if you want to read this and you were following with the single issues, you'd have to pick up this trade because they never came out. So that's kind of a sad thing. And also, you look at those dates, January 2020, this probably means that this book is the last of the AVP books that Dark Horse put out. For those of you who don't know, when Disney acquired the rights to Alien and Predator during the Fox buyout, they eventually, kind of recently, decided to pull Alien over into Marvel Comics. Presumably they're doing the same thing with Predator, but I haven't heard anything about it. But if Alien's gone, then no more Dark Horse AVP comics, so this is the last one in that run. Again, another great legendary run, and it's really sad to see it over. But this is a fun book to end on. That's one thing I will say about this book. It's pretty fun. So let's go ahead and jump into the plot. Again, no major spoilers. We're primarily looking at issue 1, and you get these nice chapter heads here. But you open with a kid watching a kind of campy cartoon show with this little hero kid that wears goggles, and you see that this kid watching it on an iPad, which is a strange thing that's a sci-fi technology that we just have now. But this kid is watching his cartoons, and he's got the goggles to match his hero, when suddenly you hear this rumbling in the ship, and he takes off by order of his parents to rescue his sister. You see, this little kid is a younger brother, but he's not just a younger brother. He's an android, because, you know, this is the alien universe, and androids are everywhere. So these parents bought an android for their daughter when she was younger, and it was to keep her company and keep her safe and, you know, help her grow up. But the androids don't age, so the daughter is a teenager now, but her little brother stays her little brother forever. And it's weird, they kind of programmed him to act like a kid, so he is kind of a goofy little kid there, and he, you know, like obsessed with a cartoon show. They're really trying to make him, you know, seem like a real person, even down to realistic kid programming. So that is an interesting concept, the little brother that stays little forever, why the older sister grows up and kind of grows out of him. You see, this is the ship they're on. Their parents, the mom is the captain, and they own the ship here. The USSC Double Down, kind of like KFC, I guess, or Cards. It's like Cards, but it's a private luxury ship. Passengers 112, crew only 16. So it's pretty small, but it's like a cruise ship going through space, which is an interesting concept. To be on a cruise ship, it's a little different than all the you know, more gruff alien things. You know, you do get that aesthetic, but you also get what this world does to try to be nice. And you see, there's the older sister just trying to relax, and at first she doesn't believe her little brother. And I really do like this. When the alarm goes off, the sky is apparently just a big screen, and it turns into a danger, proceed to the exits message, which I thought was a pretty fun and little clever idea there. And then, of course, the predators show up, and they start killing everyone on this cruise ship. And you see the Speedo Man here gets his head ripped off by a predator's whip. You know, the Alien books are going to Marvel, and I'm interested to see what a new company will do. But that being said, do you guys think Marvel's going to, you know, cut people's heads off there? They're a little tamer than that typically. I mean, I know they've done like Marvel Max and stuff before. I hope they keep it up and they don't just water down Alien. But do you think Marvel will freaking cut a guy's head off like that? I don't know. But anyway, the kids get away, and the little boy's supposed to take them to safety, but the girl goes, no, you're mine and you have to follow my orders. There's a few questions of, you know, whose orders does the kid have to follow, and the girl convinces her to go to their parents, and they eventually do find the parents there, and we find out that the dad kind of is responsible for the whole mess. You see, he's like, okay, we're just floating a spaceship around in deep space. We're getting some money from the cruise, but what if I change the flight plan and we fly through uncharted space and we collect cartography data? So he's mapping out space in order to sell the data to people, but because they're flying through unknown space, they flew through predator space, and the predators are just killing them because they stepped on their land. They're defending their turf. And shortly after we see this, the predators show up and quickly dispatch the parents. And you think, okay, this is about a younger kid and a little kid and a slightly older kid. You might worry this might be a little YA, but there's their dad with his head cut off right in front of their kids. So yeah, this has younger characters, but this is not a YA novel. But anyway, we get to see a little bit there. The kid, why the mom wants the older sister with the kid so badly is because he's an android. He's actually pretty strong. He wrestles with the predator for a bit there, which I thought was a funny detail. This little kid, he's actually an android, so he's super strong. They get this other moment where the girl wants to look for her friends, and he's like, look, my first priority is your safety. I can knock you out if I have to and just drag you aboard the lifeboat. And she's like, okay, fine, I won't look for my friends. But you get the primary problem is they can't leave unless the predators do, because the predators' boarding stairs there is right in front of the lifeboat, and they simply can't leave with that there because they can't reach into the stairs. This prompts them to go aboard the predator ship, and we meet the alien that they have captured, and there's no way that that's gonna get out, is there? So that wraps up issue 1, which is, I think, a good setup for the rest of the book. What I have to say is this book is really fun and fast-paced. It's only 4 issues, so it goes really quick, but you get to see these two siblings and their dynamic, especially one being an android, so he's not really human, but he's also stuck being a little kid forever, and he's kind of this weird balance of overly programmy but also overly kiddie, and he can kind of flip back and forth sometimes between being juvenile and really professional. But to see those two learn to get along and understand what their current status is really, really interesting. How do these relationships change? And I thought that was really interesting. Plus, this book, it starts off and it hardly ever cuts away from the kids. There's a little bit where you have to go and see what a monster's doing, but for the most part, this is that whole shot in real time thing where it moves through the story and you don't really cut anything out. It's all trying to survive, and we got to go over here, we got to do this, we got to go back there, we got to do this. And it is running around the ship that's a cool cruise ship that is, both, some parts are really nice, some parts are derelict alien stuff. And it's a cool chase through this interesting ship, and I do like it's a different kind of ship as well, which we haven't seen too often, I don't know if at all. And you get to see them run through that, which was really, really fun. And I do like, it's a fast-paced, fun story. One thing I should mention also is that even though issues 3 and 4 were previously unpublished, the story and the art stays pretty good. So it's not like they finished it haphazardly and was like, crank something out so we can sell the paperback. I think that they did a good job even on the unreleased stuff, which makes me wonder if this was all made beforehand and they, had already done it before everything hit, So it stays really good even through the unpublished parts, which is really great. Good, fun, running around the ship and stuff. But also one thing I should point out is there's 3 or 4 predators in this book, but there's only one alien. And a lot of times in AVP, you have a bunch of aliens and only a few predators. This alien is a pretty tough alien, and he does better against predators than most aliens do. And I'm wondering, what's up with that? Some Predator fans really like to go, Predators can just, kill aliens all day. This alien really does have more of an upper hand than aliens usually have, and it makes me wonder a little bit about it. Here's a shot where you can see a little bit through the alien's faceplate. Aliens do have an eyes and nose spot, but it's kind of like a sunglasses lens over it, and you can see a little bit through this one in a couple shots, which makes me wonder, it looks like the alien you get when you get a face hugger attaching to a human, but I'm wondering if this is just some other bipedal organism that they got this one from, because you don't know where the predators found this thing, and it looks human, but I'm thinking it might be a similar to human creature, which resulted in a similar looking alien, but made it a little tougher, because like we know from the regular cut versus the director's cut of part 3, that in one version it's a dog that the facehugger gets, and another it's like a bull, but it results in the same looking alien. So I'm wondering if this alien came from a species similar looking to humans and resulted in a similar looking alien, but this one's way stronger. That's just a fan theory. I don't know. This alien, it seems a little bigger, and it really tears through some predators there. Although I will say there is a funny scene later in the book. I'll try not to show any spoilers, but it sees this parrot, and it chases the parrot around, and they're like, okay, it's distracted. And just something about an alien trying to kill a parrot is just really humorous to me, and I loved seeing it chase this parrot around. It was really funny. But anyway, I guess that's time to wrap it up. This was a really fun, fast-paced action book. It has kids, but it's not really YA. There's some good violence in it, and overall, this was a book I read in a single day, and I read a lot of comics. I set them down and pick them up tomorrow a lot of the time, but for me to sit through and read this all really, really fast is a statement to it being really good. It's just a fun read, and I really would recommend it to anyone who's thinking about this stuff. This is a good one, and also the last Alien vs. Predator comic from Dark Horse, so good to go out on a high note. It's just a really fun book. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom, probably be my comics playlist, but if you want to see me review more Alien and Predator comics, they'll be in there as well. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.